Life is all just one beginning, it's your choice, karma or sinning. How will we all be a winning? Ascend or descend? I don't really have anything. So 10:50 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Friday, the 1st of August 2014, are the 2nd through 4th solar hours of the 4th of the 10th month of 1435. I had felt like something relevant was happening in my sleep after reading this chapter several times. Finally, when I thought it would escape me, I remembered. I felt very well rested and strangely powerful. I felt a sinking until my body in my bed was no longer felt, and I didn't see in the manner of a person laying with his eyes shut. I walked till I came upon a flat top, upon its lower peak, after a dip, clockwise, around the sides, nearly the top. Near the top was the Shem Hamatharash sigils for the period of Taurus, are numbers 15 through 20 in ruby. This was above the blue cloud around the mountain. There was a giant bull there, until a tented booth holding up holding open conversations and hoping to convince others. Later, he went to a different area to teach a class that sat at tables. A third thing he did was to supervise people at easels. They each painted different things. A giraffe led a dance that seemed symbolic, somehow. A computer had a swordfish screensaver. But I knew I did not have access. I noticed a dove and followed it into the north. It landed on a restoration cross. You know, what the type of cross is, not what I believe about the symbol. With the word omnipresent on its circular rim within the boundaries of the cross. Its up-down bar had omnipotent written with the letters in their regular slant, reading starting at the top. Its left to right had the word omniscient in the same manner. If you tilted to the right to read them. The blue cloud on the mountain lifted. I could see a funny-looking wooden ship with a large compass that could be seen from afar. The stem and keel were also rather distinct. The waters it sailed in were strangely colorful, like oil on water in the sun. When we went west and came upon a land where we saw chameleons, then went east till we reached a place with linuxes in the distance. We continued another way and saw a flying fish along the way. There was a small rocky slang where a couple was chained to the rocks. They fought 6 sea serpents. I felt like trying to save them. They were trying, but he seemed better at it. Finally, we entered into a valley between civilizations. A big dog led a little dog who was riding a unicorn there. I walked alone when these 3 creatures were out of sight. There was a cattle shrouded by a rain cloud. I went inside and found a room like a pearl, with the softest bed, with a curtain around it. The Shemhem Borash sigils for the period of Gemini, our numbers 21 through 26, were counterclockwise upon the sides of the bed, and lapis lazuli. 2 were on each of the long sides. The guardian was a voluptuous woman with a golden cord. She was strangely dressed. I could not see the mate for me that I knew was there. When I went outside with my bride, we saw a wall open up to reveal a treasure. Now, it's not a necessary comment, but there's a difference between obese and voluptuous. A huge difference. So stop calling yourself voluptuous if you're just obese. Or continue, whatever, it's just not accurate speech. But of course, there are more important things in life, whether you're thick or thin or in between or something. But my interpretation of this dream, this is sort of a dream. This is the sort of dream of the 5th and 6th numbered tarot cards as Ekvahana, Ek Arahata, Gianni Marg, Eckankar missionary, Eckankar teacher, Eckankar arts, and lover or soulmates. The constellations of the first card are Mensa, Table Mountain, and the large Magellanic cloud, Taurus, the bull, Pictor, the easel, Camelopardalis, Camelopardalis. Okay. Hope I said it clear that time. The giraffe, Dorado, the swordfish, Columbia, the dove, and Volans, the flying fish. The constellations of the second were Carnia, Argo Navis's keel, Puppies, Argo Navis's stem, Pisces, I'm not sure. Pisces sounds about right. Argo Navis's nautical box, Chameleon, the chameleon, Lynx, the lynx or tiger, Volans, the flying fish, Canis Major, the big dog, Monoceros, the one-horned, Canis Minor, the little dog, and, oh, well, I can just say Canis, can't I? And Gemini, the twins, also as the woman. The blue was, as this happened under the 12th of the year that is listed under Gemini. The red cloud could be of how I was focusing on the period for Taurus. The blue is a symbol of abundance and drought. One can be productive in sharing towards either. The giraffe is a symbol of support and a firm belief in clear creeds that forms an access to operate around. The swordfish is about being direct. I am limited in my confidence and effectiveness, but I must go and try. The dove is a symbol of light beings, unfallen angels and messengers. Are exemplar prophets. Messenger prophets are exemplar prophets that point us towards God, who is transcendent. The chameleons were a symbol. Are be ready to take on different outer appearances and actions. We have to learn how to be discreet, like a chameleon, or lynx, or tiger. When approaching a unicorn in a fanciful scene with dogs, one encountered a flying fish, and that is a symbol of being out of one's element. This must be the false truths and comparative truths that are ways free from the house of God, as chapter 24 of Stranger by the River by Paul Twitchell mentions. The preaching, teaching, and arts are passionate and active matters. Both lovers and soulmates need a touch of passivity and indifference. The journey continues from there, and we realize we are not the material, but that is the vehicle of consciousness, and the spirit soul operates that. I am willing to lay down my life to save another, but I must leave some behind to do their own work. The house of God is accessible. The house of God is accessible to soulmates and other pairs who appreciate the fullness of life and the feminine for the sake of God. There are the same spiritual heights that can only be reached with a helpmate. Value is realized that may go unnoticed when without a spiritual twin. The body is the way home. Salvation through knowledge and love of God and His ways is available for even those who must travel the path alone. How many rock songs have that as a theme, right? My 19th of the 8th month of 1435, explanation of Stranger by the River, chapter 24, No Greater Love. Why should a chief spiritual master attend to the grave markers of the spiritually dead? A marker of first aid forms the marker at each head. I was 24 with her that April and did not dread. The sun shone briefly upon earth. Joy of spiritual heights was in sight of the dearth. I would have laid down my life to save yours for what it's worth. I continue to explain for her what is my birth. Seek out knowledge and love like rare earth elements. From falsehoods and spiritual truths, make embarkments in your philosophizing. Ride the spiritual current in you by affirming, like a divine mint, God is baptizing. See Al-Quran, Surah 2, 8, 138. Look behind the scene and find out that all the highest qualities reside in God, and those come down out here. So give up on the finite in order to grasp some of the infinite grace, mercy, and manifestation of Sugmad, the one we seek out. Hold tight to the rope of the omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. See Al-Quran, Surah 3, 8, 103. Let our hearts be reconciled and illusions disappear. And so, remember, birth there is with an E. Barak Bashad. May the blessings be.